Okay, DGP 91 coming to you live on President's Day from Washington, D.C. Steven, top of the morning.
Howdy, President's Day. We talking 3-day weekend over here. I think it's been a pretty rowdy one for me over here. How you been, KP, this weekend?
Pretty good, dude. It's been a really wonderful weekend. Got to see the Arsenal win 2-0. Got to see the Arsenal win 5-0. Shout out to the ladies of Arsenal. And personally, I've been crushing a game show, dude. I've been watching this show called The Floor. It is fun, man. Have you seen this?
Love The Floor. Been watching it. Don't like watching it on television. I like watching it on Hulu, actually. No commercials, all action, all gas, no breaks. But it is fun. A lot of strategy involved. Got myself watching. I'm engaged. I'm locked in. It's like Family Feud, you know? Like, I'm locked in. I'm answering the questions, baby.
It's so much fun, dude. I love that it's just like random normal people and there's just random categories that they're specialized in. I do agree with you. There's a lot of strategy, it seems to be involved with it, but really fun show. I think anyone who's not checked it out, go on. Season 2 is on Hulu. I know that. Season 3 just started. I'm only a couple of episodes in. Seems like gotta catch those live, but it's been great, man. Yeah, and I crushed a couple of movies, too. So, overall, pretty good vibes, man. Pretty good vibes. The weather, a lot of wind. A lot of wind. If I can just get the wind out of the way, I am ready. I am ready for the spring.
No, the wind's been terrible. A lot of rain. Did a heavy Costco run yesterday. For those that you don't, I guess across the pond, Costco is the biggest mega store here in the U.S. You buy in bulk, baby. Buy in bulk. So I went there. Bought a ton of stuff. I think it was yesterday, but it's been actually an action-packed weekend as far as sports go. There was a lot of sports going on. I watched Leverkusen, Bayern Munich. That was a good game. Been watching some hockey. They got the Four Nations tournament going on. Some crazy fights. First 10 seconds, lots of fights. That's fun. Not a huge hockey guy, but you know, I try to stay engaged for the culture of it. But it all started 7:30 a.m. on a Saturday. Bright and sunny. Arsenal 2-0. Oof.
Yeah, how did you feel about that game overall, dude? For me, I have to be honest with you. At halftime, I thought we are never scoring again.
Ooh. You had the prediction 1-0. I had the prediction of 3-0 going into it. At halftime, I thought I completely got that all wrong. All wrong. I was, we're missing our boys. They're going to come in hot. We're going to look good. Yo, at halftime, it looked like it was going to end 0-0. Did it not? Absolutely.
Yeah, on the last part, I said when it gets to the 70th minute, when it gets to the 80th minute with the squad that we have, I might start chalking off a lot of these games as draws. And absolutely, dude, after like 60 minutes of that game, I just thought draws. I am seeing draws everywhere for the remainder of the season. It's not looking great. My mood was totally down, dude. And I mean, going back to your point, I think in the prediction pod, you were saying usually this happens in sports when your stars go down, the other players step up. And in that first half, the one player who I was specifically looking for to step up, I was like, this is it. This is now the time to play the captain card. And Martin Odegaard, I thought he had a terrible first half.
There's a lot of there's a lot of stuff to talk about this game specifically. I feel like there's a lot of ups and downs. Overall, not great, not a great performance. Not the happiest with him. But there were moments that I saw from him. It's like, that's what I need from you. He's putting a lot of balls over the top to people, trying to put people in. It's like, that's not something we typically see from him a lot. We've seen it in the past. Just recently, that's not been in his locker. So there's balls that he's trying to put in. I'm like, yes, that's what I need. Like, that's a great look. But it's also not coming off. And there's moments for him to shoot, and he won't shoot. So it's like kind of, you're on both sides of it, right?
You had me with the shoot, dude. I was sitting there like, I need this guy to shoot more. He had a couple of chances, dude, where he just didn't let it rip. I'll tell you what, though. At the end of the day, I am happy it was an away game. I had called that out, and I feel like that was important, dude. That really helped us. We saw a new chant get introduced. That's always fun. But in general, I thought the game being away was super helpful with the fans and their engagement and their fans kind of being out of it a little bit. That's usually a kind of a scary stadium to go to at times. I just remember it always being very loud. I didn't get that atmosphere usually that I do when I watch their games.
Gotcha. The King Power. I think it's because they've been in the mud. I know they had the protest scheduled. I know our commentary, they announced they were going to be having 2 different moments, I believe, during the game where they're going to protest. They've been in the absolute mud. Going back to your point about it being an away game and you wanting that, is it because you were worried about groans at home?
Yeah. I mean, okay. I feel like if you watch that exact first half at the Emirates, I wouldn't be surprised if there were boos, bro.
That's a good shout. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like at halftime, there could be boos, dude.
You always got to give it to the away fans for that. They're there having a good time. They're going to back no matter what. That's a good shout, actually. I could totally see there being moans and groans, asking for subs, calling for Raheem Sterling's head. Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, that was the vibe I was getting, man. Look, overall, yeah, not a great first half. The one shining star we had was Ethan Nwaneri. In the second half, he was again the shining star. Before we get into some of the player aspects and how it all kind of worked out, you had asked for seeing something new. And did you pick up on anything new that we were trying maybe from the beginning of the game?
I guess going back to that point about Odegaard, I think there was some positives I did see. It wasn't a great performance overall, but there were moments I was like, yes, it is something new to that point. And there was an aspect of us going forward. The game was a little bit more open than I anticipated, and I like that. We talk about our 11 are just better. It's Leicester City. We're just better. I don't care if our top 3 goal scorers aren't playing. The rest of our players are just better. There was a willingness to go forward. A lot of balls over the top was something new. Odegaard trying to kind of dink balls in. I like that. I'd say going out to the channels. To me, it was just the over-the-top ball. A little bit more Route 1 stuff. I like that. Formation, all of that, tactics-wise, it wasn't a huge difference. But from the end of the game, the way the game ended, I expect to see some new looks going forward. I guess going back, how about you? Did you see anything new that you looked at that you liked?
I'm kind of with you. I think I noticed in the first 15, we were trying the ball over the top. I think that's why we were offside a lot, because that's not something we were doing that often in the past. And also we don't have the same players. So when we do get our best players back, I'd like to see us try it a little bit more going over the top. But again, it was only for maybe the first 15. Overall, I felt like I was still watching the same patterns and the same approach to the game. I thought in the first half, the first 20, 30 minutes, Trossard had a few really nice touches, touches, right? That just kept the play going. That was great. But overall, he was pretty quiet in that center forward role. The one thing I was looking for, Steven, as the game was going on, given the situation that we had found ourselves in and the way that the play had just gone, I really wanted to see subs early. I just thought there is nothing to lose here. You have to make a sub. And the manager gave us that. Right at the 70th minute, he brought on Merino. I was happy seeing that.
Yeah, it was begging for it, and everybody knew where it was going to come from. I think the first player we have to hit on is Sterling. The sub was evident. Honestly, I could have seen it coming at halftime. I just feel bad for him. There is such a lack of confidence in him. He had a shot, I can't remember if it was the first or second half, but it was the long-range shot that he took outside the box and went out for a corner. And it just lacked conviction. It lacked everything. And I saw you post something on Blue Sky, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's the way I'm seeing it as well. See, then he had a cross later on. That was terrible. It's like, does he know how to kick the ball? It just lacks so much conviction behind it. It's like, I just feel bad for him.
It's not great, dude. I sat here on the last pod and I said, he's an Arsenal player. Gotta back him. Gotta see how it goes. And that's 60, 70 minutes that he played. Just him kicking the ball is letting you down, dude. And that's a huge worry. Obviously, Mikel Merino comes on. We'll discuss his goals. I've seen a lot of shouts already saying Mikel Merino has to start up top the next game. Is that similar to how you're feeling?
Yeah, I believe that is. Again, I'm not giving up on Sterling. I'm not going to give up on him. But if I get 70 minutes like that against a quality team, it'll be a disaster. It'd be bad. How much we lacked going forward with him on the field, we would need something better. I'm not giving up on him. If you want to give him 20 minutes, give him 20 minutes. That's fine. But I don't think I want to see him starting in a higher caliber game.
I think it depends on how quickly Martinelli comes back. One of the shouts for me is to see Martinelli play up front down the middle, because Trossard also just looks better out on the wing. If you're going to play your best players in their best positions, Trossard has to be on the left wing, Nwaneri has to be on the right wing. So I think personally, I'm open to giving Raheem Sterling another run. I don't want to see Mikel Merino start the next game, just because now I know what we have on the bench, and I feel like we should just get used to us not trying to win the game in the first half. That is no longer the objective. The objective is to just hang around in the first half, make our changes in the 70th, try to win the game in the last 20 minutes. And when you play Raheem Sterling, what's the risk? The risk is him losing the ball in their attacking half, though. So there isn't a huge risk to him defensively, I feel like. And the reward is he pulls something out of his culo and we score, maybe. But if we don't, it's time for a change. I'm kind of struggling with it, but that's how I'm seeing it a little bit.
I'm getting your point. We're like to say we're early goal FC. We like to get early goals. Put one in. We put one in, the likelihood of us getting another is very high. But we don't have our dogs on the field. Our goal scorers are not there. To be honest, that could be the change of tactic, right? I'm saying let's try something new. That is the new move. Let's hang in the ring for the first half and then nick it in the second. If we get that early goal, we've seen it in the past. This is just a tale as old as time. You get a goal really early and you can't hold on to it for 80 minutes. If you're only trying to win that game 1-0, 1-0 to the Arsenal. But if you get that goal in the 60th, 70th, 80th minute, the likelihood of you holding on to it is a lot higher. So I do get your point. I just can see, we just talked about the home fans, man. Next game, home. Raheem Sterling's out there. Once the boo birds start coming, once the groans start coming, a player that's already in dire straits, not doing well, that's only going to hurt him more. So I think Mikel's got to play this well. He's got to, that's the man management. He's got to play this one well.
Yeah, he absolutely does. It's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out. And look, let's chat about Mikel Merino. Obviously, he comes on. The first goal is a beautiful header. The second goal, a few minutes after, is a beautiful half volley finish. Where has this been at all season, Steven?
The day we will remember, KP. We'll remember the day Mikel Merino came to the King Power. It was class. The header. As soon as it came off his head, it was like, that's a goal, right? When I'm watching that off his head, that's a goal. Easy. The second goal was a nice finish. That was class. Talk about having Trossard on the wing. Left-footed cross on the money. We've seen that quite a few times since the new year. That ball that comes in. Brilliant. I'm very happy for him. Did he get a lot of touches otherwise? I want to say not super noticeable or anything like that. But when the moment came, there was 3 moments for him. The one moment he didn't get, he was outstretched with the left foot. He couldn't get his toe to it. Right? Ball just ran through. That was his first moment, and it was early when he came on. Next 2 moments, he puts him in the back of the net. That's all you can ask for, right? That is really all you can ask for.
Yeah, I hear you, dude. I'm really happy for him as well. We've been we've been saying on the pod for a while now, like, just can't really put your finger on this guy. We like what we're seeing, but we're not fully sold on it. And there's been even questions like, why did we sign this guy? Legitimately, why did we sign this guy? And we're starting to find out the answers, man. We are starting to find that header was so good.
Yeah, that was really good. I mean, remember the Euros? Didn't he score a header like that in the Euros?
Yeah,
it's almost the same. It's like it comes off his head, and you're just like, that's a goal. It has to be a goal. It looks so good.
It looks so good. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out going forward. The playing time, I've already kind of told you how I feel about it. I think the first one at home, it's okay to just keep him off the bench still. But yeah, it is a little bit of a concern to your point. Besides the goals, I can't really remember his contributions to the game. So kind of up and down. I will say, however, for both goals, Steven, yes, the finishes are classy, but the crosses, I mean, the cross from Ethan, the cross from Trossard, they are perfect.
On the money. On the money. I'm really happy for Nwaneri came in. I mean, he just looks so good, man. He looks really comfortable, and I'm really happy for him. And then Trossard plays in the middle most of the game. Didn't have a huge effect, right? Not getting much service. He had some great touches. I think he kept the ball moving with some one-touch passing at times. I love his little flicks and whatnot, but then he goes out on the wing. Instant impact. Instant impact. Both balls on the money. I like your shout of even putting Martinelli down the middle. If Martinelli comes back, do I want him playing on the right wing or Nwaneri? Probably Nwaneri, but I think there's always that concern. We've already seen him get hurt once, right? He's 17. It's new to him. So you gotta find this happy medium. I don't know what it is. I'm not a physio. There's people that get paid a lot of money to do that, so hopefully they know what they're doing.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see, man. I mean, Ethan Nwaneri, I told you my silver lining was being able to see a little bit more of this kid, a little bit more consistently, and he looks like he just belongs. You know, that's the thing when you watch Sterling. You don't feel like Sterling belongs on the pitch, dude. That's why it's hugely worrying. But this kid, bro, after Mikel Merino scored the first goal, did you see him, how he celebrated with him? He just like put his hands on his head. He looked like a captain, for fuck's sake, bro. Like the way he was just, I was just like, what is happening? This kid is 17. He's an absolute OG, bro.
I love that. Man of the match. I mean, he got man of the match. Dude comes on, scores 2 goals. Nah, he put in 90 minutes. He was the shining star, right? He was the best player on the field for us.
Absolutely, dude. And his confidence is great to see. There was, obviously, he hit the bar. He hit the post as well. So the one that he hit with his right foot was incredible. The one that he hit with his left foot was incredible. And what I appreciate, there's 1 or 2 breakaways where he had the pass. He had the pass to Trossard, I think, and he still went and shot it. And I kind of hope Martinelli's watching, because I want to say, Martinelli, like, it's okay to do that when you're 17. It's not okay to do that when you're 23, right? Like, but you're 17 and it's only your 7th game. Go on, young man. Like, make yourself a hero. That's chill. But you could see it on Trossard's face afterwards when he shot that. He's like, bro, I was wide open. I know I was wide open, but it's all right. You're like that.
Hey, when he can't stop scoring right now, it's like, sorry, I had to. The odds of it going in were just too high. I had to. Sorry.
Absolutely, dude. Listen, man, before it all got to be so happy and joyful, we were on the verge of conceding a little bit, right? There was the Maslow Skelly block, I think maybe a few minutes before our first goal, and it's absolutely incredible. It looks a little awkward. I can't tell if he means to actually do it or if it just happens accidentally by the way that he's tracking, but man, he really saved that game with that tackle.
When you watch it, like, there's a slow-mo of him on the back post. When you really watch it, it's super awkward, and it's like he's doing his best to get he got his feet wrong. I think he's kind of making a stretching moment. He's already got his foot planted. It's actually like kind of incredible, right? Like I'm thinking of myself in a moment like that, trying to get my foot up. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Oh, tear something in my. Ain't no way.
You're not 18 anymore, bro.
We're talking elite stuff. He's got his foot planted, somehow gets his toe to it. The reaction. We just talked about how Nwaneri's kind of reacting, being integrated in the squad. That's a moment for Lewis Skelly right there. Yeah, he's been great going forward, but that's a defensive moment for him. Big Gabby, Raya, straight over to him. Yes, sir. That's what we do here. That's how we keep clean sheets. That's huge from him.
It was, dude. And overall, I mean, it's another game that he played almost a full 90. And was he ever really under threat? He wasn't. He's so good at defending, dude. And yeah, man, that is such a huge save. And look, I think ultimately going back to like have things changed a lot or not, the goal of our play is still to minimize all the risk, right? Like we're still going to give up 2 or 3 chances. If you concede 1 out of 2, if you concede 1 out of 3, I do feel like you just have to kind of live with that, with the way that we're set up.
Yeah, I think that's true. There's always going to be chances in the game, right? No matter how you play, you're always going to give up chances. I think you live with it. You have David Raya. He makes big saves. You got the 2 big guys in the back, we always say. I think you just live with it. I think that's why we like to say, just leave a player up front. Martinelli, stay towards the halfway line, and let's just try to unlock him sometimes. I believe that's the way you have to play. Before we move on from Lewis Skelly, I have to ask you, and I saw this online, and I thought it was kind of an interesting point. Maybe something, we're talking about being creative. I wouldn't mind seeing it. So it's like the 60th minute, 70th minute, things aren't going great for us. We're obviously going to be making subs. Why not put Lewis Skelly into the midfield at that point? You're going to bring on Calafiori. He's going to play left back. Would you look at seeing Lewis Skelly in the midfield?
Not right now. Not right now, because I look at the midfielders who are there, and they have to play the game out. I think Declan Rice, if we're losing, if we're down 1-0, 60th minute, Declan Rice is not coming off the pitch, bro. Mikel Merino, now he's playing up top. J20, I thought J20 when he came on, he actually contributed. He plays the cross for that first goal at the beginning. He plays it out before he gets recycled. Odegaard, I mean, he's not coming off. Partey, he's really not coming off. So I don't know who he would go into the middle for with the game on the line. I don't know if I'm confident kind of putting that on the kid. Do you feel differently?
I'm going to go almost... I totally get where you're coming from. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. I think it's a great shout if there's a game we're winning.
Sure.
Right?
I just don't see us waiting in a winning position for a few games, right?
That is completely fair. That's completely fair. If there's a game we're already up, put him there. Just let it happen. Even if there's a game we're down, if there's a game where we're 1-0 down, he might be a player I want to see. I think he's just good going forward. What we have on the field already, talk about pulling out Thomas Partey, put Rice at the 6, still asking him to go forward. If we're down, right, in that scenario, you put Lewis Skelly in there. Now we have 3 players that can go forward, attack. I just think it's just an interesting move when you're bringing on a Jorginho. I don't want to see 1-0 down bringing on Jorginho. I've seen it a couple times. It can work, that's true, but not consistently.
That's fair. When you were proposing your question, I thought you were going to suggest playing him at left wing, Miles Lewis Skelly. I can see him on the wing a little bit more than in the middle. But listen, man, we do have a sub off the bench. It's this guy called Richie Calafiori, who is about that life, dude. I've been saying it. I mean, he was crucial in the second goal, absolutely crucial, as well as Martin Odegaard. I got to give a huge shout out to Martin Odegaard for that second goal and how he broke the press. I think he split basically like 6 of their players, dude. But Calafiori, I think he subbed on, and within a couple of minutes, he left one on their player. And I just remember it. I remember it so well. And I was just like, yo, he's big like that, dude.
He did leave one on that dude. It was like in our attacking third, he did. He's like kind of the super sub right now. When he comes on, there's an energy about him. When Calafiore comes on, and you can see him kind of, I think when he does that run where you see him kind of galloping through, it's like something's going to happen. Something's going to happen here. I don't know what, but something's going to happen. He's probably the one sub we have right now that's like our impact. And it's at left back.
Yeah, and when he got the ball from Odegaard, what I liked is he drove it centrally. Did you see the way he kind of carried that at their center back? That was very interesting to me, that this guy, he sees it a little differently, man.
Got to rely on him here on the run through. Lewis Skelly, he has left back. That's his spot. He's starting. I just believe he's going to be starting from here on out unless he feels something and the physio says, no, he needs to sit a game or come off the bench. Fine. Can't trust Calafiore. There's already been shouts about Calafiore being like a striker in youth level or something like that. Can he play up top? Now we got Merino, we got Calafiore. We got numbers up top. I had no clue, KP.
Yeah, dude, there was I think Mikel Arteta himself said something about William Saliba volunteering to play up top. So like and that's the thing, right? Every single one of those players at the end of the day wants to play up top.
Everybody wants to be a 9, right? That's why you get into it. You want to play 9.
So, numbers might feel light, but I think we're forgetting how good we are, dude. You know what's crazy about this, Steven? Here's a cold hard fact for you, bro. 15 games unbeaten in the Premier League in a row. Are you kidding me? Does it feel that way? It didn't feel that way after the game. I got to be honest with you.
It doesn't feel that way. The injuries are such a huge blow, right? It's like it's so crazy that like the evolution of your brain, like evolution of expectations, they change so fast, right? We're at one point 6 points behind Liverpool with a game in hand. So we said, it's 9. Then they draw a game, so it's 7. Then we get this huge injury, Kai Havertz. We got nobody. Now we're just trying to go for 4th place. We win a game. Now we're 4 points behind. It's like this. It's like ever changing. It's like, there's hope. And then Liverpool win. The hope's gone. Now we just need to stay in the league. Go for 4th. It's like, it's just changing so fast. But yeah, last 10 wins, 5 draws. The draws have killed us this season. If we could turn those draws into wins, 3 of them, right? It's a whole different ball game. But I mean, we're still on the up. Over here on DGP, we like to stay on the up. Glass half full, KP.
A little bit, dude. I thought the Hopium was doing its magic a little bit. I was watching that Liverpool, Leicester. No, who were they playing? Wolves. And dude, that one of my silver linings is that, dude, Liverpool look like they get scored on, bro. Like, I watch these games and I'm just like, they get away with so much. It's crazy.
Yeah. I missed their first goal, but I did see the PK they got. Diaz got a PK. And it's like, whether it's brain dead from the keeper, Diaz just obviously is playing for the PK because he smashes the ball out, right? He smashes it for a goal kick, but he's just playing for the PK. It's just like one of those moments like, man, I rarely see that going for us. I don't mean the foul being called, just like moments like that where it's one-on-one with a keeper or we can't just smash it past him and try to go down. That's just a rarity.
That's so funny. When I watch their games, I don't really think about the attack difference. I just constantly think about how many chances their backline gets away with. And then I reflect on how many chances our backline gives up. It still goes in and we still get punished, dude. Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, that Leicester game, right before the half, they had that header that just went wide. I was a little nervous when that happened. Couple of other chances that they had, but you know what, dude? That's a big silver lining for me. They've got 3 big games coming up. They play Villa Wednesday. They play Manchester City. They play Newcastle. I am willing to say there is no way they get 9 points out of 9 points in these next 3.
KP. I'm gonna play the other side on that. I doubt that we get 9 points in our next 3. watching Leicester, that was a tough watch, man. Obviously, I'm elated we got the 3 points. I'm jazzed about it. We just got to stay in it as long as we can. I know it's a long time. I'm still looking for the game that we go to Anfield. If we're within, what did I say, 6 points, I guess at that point, 6 points, we have to get a win there. I mean, we got to keep our foot on the gas, but I just don't see it.
It's looking tough, dude. Absolutely, man. Listen, before we wrap everything up and look ahead to the next game, we got to talk about your one to watch, Jurrien Timber. I thought he had a really good game, a low-key game, but there was a moment in the second half where I think for 10 minutes, I saw maybe 7 shots of him. And that meant to me he is playing right now. He's locked in right now.
Give me more on that. Are we talking like defensive moments, offensive? What are you seeing from him?
I think both. I think what I appreciated the most was that a couple of times he absolutely spun Ayew. And Ayew is a player who doesn't like it when stuff like that happens to him. And he fouled him, dude. And I really, really enjoyed it. It's just like, he just left you for dead, bro. I liked it.
Timber, really consistent. So he did have that one moment Ayew got him with that ball into the far stick. That's the one we're talking about with Lewis Skelly. That was Ayew that put that ball in. But Timber, he's really good. He's just really, really good. He's one of those players you just don't have to worry about. And I like that about him. You don't got to worry about that wing. It's not a big issue. He's always going to give you something going forward. I'm excited to see those moments they pan to the bench and you see Ben White over there. Benny Blanco, I think it's going to be great when you have a Timber playing 60 minutes and then you can get a Ben White in for 30, close it out if we need a goal, get forward, things like that. There's still moments for me with Timber. He looks tired. He's playing a lot of ball, man. And we ask a lot from those outside backs. So he does look tired, but consistent. You know what you're going to get from him. And he's not really going to get done, right? He's not going to get done.
Yeah, and the one thing I would say, however, that he needs to improve on is his long passing. I've noticed his long passing is a little off. So that's kind of what I'll be watching for in the next few years to see how that develops. I mean, Big Gabby developed that, so hopefully he can too. But that just stands out a little bit. There was a couple of moments, especially against Leicester, where I just thought he overhit it, and he could have done better. So still leaves you wanting more. But yeah, dude, Benny Blanco was back.
Benny Blanco back on the bench. Well, I got to ask you about your one to watch. We always seem to mention him. What did you think about Mr. Thomas Partey?
Partey, I thought he had a super average game. I actually think it was him that was closing down Ayew when he crossed it in.
Okay.
I think it was him, and I remember him giving him a lot of space. So, a couple of moments here and there still from him, but it wasn't too bad. He actually drove a couple of times, which I appreciate. We're at a point now where we need our midfield to carry the ball. We're not going to be in the perfect passing pattern. Sometimes you just have to get the ball and beat the guy and just drive through the middle. And I hope we see a little bit more of it. But I thought it was okay. I'll give him a 6, I suppose. Why? Do you feel differently?
No, very, very average game. It wasn't a Thomas Partey game. There's games where he kind of takes it by the neck. He's the guy you notice a lot. Very average. I'm glad you fact-checked me there. Because you do see him get done. Thomas Partey is someone that can get run ragged a little bit. He doesn't have the pace. Especially late in the game, it seems like that can happen to him. Driving forward, the best midfielder was Declan Rice. He's still on his bullshit, man. He is the man. Talk about someone driving through the midfield. There was a few moments you saw him basically trying to do it himself. It felt like, I would say the first half, probably 60 minutes. If I was going to put my money on, I have to put my house on who's going to score, he probably would have been my player, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and I mean, he played a little differently. He was making some runs through their back line, looking for the long pass. He was crashing, I hear you. And I mean, he was crucial to winning that ball for that first goal, right? I thought that was incredible. But overall, yeah, pretty good. Just continues on. I feel like that's mostly the game, unless there's anything else that you want to give a shout out to.
I think that's it. I think we go over to the ladies.
Yeah, just a quick update on the ladies. Like I said, they won the North London Derby 5-0. If you haven't seen the American Emily Fox's goal, she scored one in the 90th minute. That was the 5th goal, the icing. And, dude, it was like 30 yards out. She just bangs it, bro. It's a nice goal.
Bins. It was bins. It's funny. It's like the 5-1 route we just had. And Waneri with probably the best goal of the day. That's probably what that was, too. The 5th goal of the day. It's the best one. Icing on the cake.
No, it was amazing. They will play West Ham on Sunday at the Emirates. I think it's an early game, but before them, the men will play West Ham also on Saturday, 10 a.m. How are you feeling about it? Let's just pretend that obviously we're recording on Monday morning and there's going to be no injury news until Saturday. Let's just pretend that is the case. How are you feeling?
I don't want to pretend. I want that to be a reality. I want that to be the reality. Don't scare me like that. I'm a little bit more nervous about this one. I'm a little bit more nervous about it because I believe West Ham's better. They have a few players that can worry us a little bit. And they are a team that like to play us. I feel like we've had some good battles with West Ham in the past. Yes, we get the better of them quite a bit. But they do show up to play. I'm a little bit more nervous about this one, KP. This one has more of that 1-0 to the Arsenal feel.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I think defensively they are not that great. I think that they're at a place right now where I feel like some of their individuals will just play a little bit more as individuals than as a team. That could favor us a lot. They do have a new manager. I think they picked up Graham Potter, and they sacked Loptegu halfway through the season, which was coming, dude. They were having some terrible results under him. So, but Graham Potter, he's had good performances against us at Brighton. So I kind of hear you as well that it's a better team than Leicester. That's for sure.
Yeah. You had said this maybe 2 weeks ago. People just like to come play us. They want to be our rivals. West Ham seems like a team that likes to do that. We're playing the Arsenal. We're going to show up this week. I'm looking at their last 5 games in the Prem. They've been really bad. Really bad. So they had won a game at home against Fulham. Lost a game at home against Palace. They drew Villa somehow. They lost to Chelsea. Lost to Brentford this weekend. They're doing pretty bad, right? So that's 1 win in their last 4. Quite a few losses. In their last 5. Quite a few losses. Do I think we'll win? Sure. Of course I do. Right? We're optimistic over here, but it is a little bit more. It's going to be a little bit more hairy than against Leicester.
It's funny, as soon as you mentioned that they've been doing pretty poorly, I just
Trap game.
I had such a bad feeling, Steven. Just like, how many times have we seen a team be absolutely in the dumps and turn up and then go on a huge run after beating Arsenal? Man, I got nervous when you said that, but I hope we show up. I hope that, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I still think hopefully Sterling gets another run. I think give him the 3 games, dude. Give him a run of 3 games. Give him 3 starts. Let's just see. I'm sure he has some catching up to do. But we got to roll that out a little bit because we don't really have other choices. I would say I'm feeling high, dude. I'm feeling 4-0 at home. I'm feeling a 4-0 at home, dude.
Oh man, going over the top. Want champagne on the pod.
I said expect a lot of 1-0s, but it's at home, so my heart is getting the better of me. I'm out here handing it out, dude. I'm saying give Sterling more time. I'm seeing 4-0, so I could just be I might be overdoing the hopium. I don't know.
Yeah. You really high on the hopium. I'll go 1-0. I think you've talked me into the Sterling thing. I'll be honest with you. I think you've talked me into it. The only worry about Merino, should he play at 9 again? Yes. I don't think he can start and give me 90 minutes. I don't know if he can give me 70 minutes. Give me Sterling for the first half at least. And if he has the same type of performance, that's fine. Sub him at half and let's change it up. But give him the start. If he plays well, leave him on for 60. I like that. But Merino can't give me 90 minutes up top. I don't think that's going to happen.
That's exactly how I'm seeing it. Would you rather have Sterling as your game changer after the 70th minute, or would you rather Merino go up top? And I feel like that's an easier decision to make.
Yeah, you talked me into it. That makes a lot of sense. Otherwise, I don't see a lot of changes. I just don't see a lot of changes. It's going to be run it back mode. Same folks out there. And I hope it works. I hope it works.
I do expect Benny Blanco to play. I don't know if he'll start, but I'm expecting him to sub on and the fans to give him a big cheer. So I'm looking forward to that. I think just going to start wrapping this one up, unless there's anything else you want to get on the pod, dude.
No, enjoy your week.
Yeah, enjoy your week, everyone. We will be here after Saturday to chat with you as to how everything goes. Hoping for 4, as you know. See you on the other side.
Be easy.